Hi Krishna.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How's it going?
How's the day going today?
Lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Love giving interviews?
I do because I chat a lot, so I'm happy to speak to you.
Yeah, right. But I want to know from you, how was your journey? Khatron Ke Khiladi season 14.
It was unforgettable. It was amazing. It was once in a lifetime, and no amount of money could buy that. It was such a reward actually because I feel like it's really changed me for the better. It's given me, a sense of self-assurance and confidence I never experienced before, and it was a blessing. I'm really grateful for it.
And if I can know, what were the learnings from this whole journey? And if I can also know the lessons you got from this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I realized that I do is I tend to set limitations on myself, So I'm very clear in my head, okay, I can do this, I can't do this. And if I can't do this, I'm not even going to try to do it. And I think that stems from my competitive nature because when I do something, I want to be the absolute best at it, So I will only truly give my 100% if I know I can be the best. So I think that's a big thing that I learned through my journey. And I talk a little bit about it this weekend on the episode, actually. And I think, the minute that I removed those limitations from my mind and just completely immersed myself in the experience and allowed myself to go through and feel everything is when I truly progressed. So I think that went for the show, and it also goes for just life in general.
That's really good. But I also want to know from you, was there any stunt where you felt like कि भाई ये मुझसे नहीं होगा, but I need to do it because I need to prove it? Was there any stunt?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you watched that episode, but it was where we were put in a box and there was a division between our head and our body. There were 70 snakes, 70 snakes on our body, and on our face they dumped buckets of spiders and cockroaches. And that was literally all my fears in one box and me for 10 minutes. So I went into that stunt knowing, okay, I'm probably not going to win this, or be the best at it. And I'm okay with that. Just endure it. That's all you have to do. And, the fact that I was able to endure that for 10 minutes, being so out of my comfort zone, because I'm the type of person that runs to the other room if there's a cockroach in this room until this cockroach is, thrown out the window. So just enduring all of that for 10 minutes, was a win for me. And my dad actually watched that and he was shocked. He was like, oh my God, I don't need to watch further than this. You're already a winner for me.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And also, there are some scenes also where you got a good coverage from social media. Also, people are appreciating you, for the reasons. Just तरीके से Jackie Shroff is always there for you, your dad. So how do you see that, the bond, when people appreciate अलग तरीके से, Jackie Shroff doing all the daddy duties in a proper way?
For sure. He's the best dad in the world. I'm sure every kid says that about their dad, but genuinely he's just our rock. And I always say, as long as I know I have my dad, it just gives me this feeling of invincibility.
And there's also an episode where you call Tiger, and Tiger is like Fattu.
He actually said, I have no right to call you a Fattu anymore because he can't do half the things
but
we
the
do.
channel episode they have written like this only. I mean,
clickbait.
Yeah, clickbait, just a clickbait, just we all do them.
Yeah, exactly.
But how do you see when people sometimes write about you and Abhishek? What's the current status but?
I mean, we meet when there's a Khatron reunion, when everyone's together and we make a plan. But beyond that, there's not much of communication. I mean, he's a great guy, and I always say he made everyone's journey more fun because he just brought that light into a very heavy situation. He would just make us all laugh all day.
But we saw a cute relationship, जहाँ पे he used to flirt with you and you used to give a very good answers to him. So and people has taken in दूसरा ही way में that you guys are they guys dating or something like that.
No. him and I just shared a friendship, you know, like I shared a friendship with everyone there. I think all of us became like a family away from our own families, you know, because we were each other's support. So it was really easy to lean on each other because we're all experiencing the same things and we're all experiencing this craziness for the first time in our lives, you know. So I mean, it wasn't just him specifically, but all of them who
Right.
I had that bond with.
Right. But how is Rohit Shetty as a host?
He is the perfect host for a show like this. You know, I cannot imagine Khatron Ke Khiladi without Rohit Shetty. He honestly, I think he believed in the contestants more than we believed in ourselves, you know? And there were so many moments where a lot of us felt like mid-stunt, oh my God, we can't do this, or we want to give up. But he would push us to complete it because he had that belief and that faith in us, you know? And I mean, who doesn't want to perform in front of the OG action master, you know? It's a lot of pressure, but it's motivation too. So he was great, and you know, this show is what it is because of him.
But there was also a scene where there also a kind of opinion people talking about in social media that was he favored you because you're kahin na kahin you're a star kid. And was there contestant who were talking about it, or they made you feel like that, or you were just
Not at all. Honestly, Rohit sir is so fair, you know. He'll give praise when praise is deserved, and he's a man of few words. But he is extremely fair to all contestants, you know, and the way they go about the stunts, I saw a lot of comments saying, oh, okay, they're favoring me because they're giving me water stunts, and that's my strength. I may have made those stunts look easy for me, but trust me, they weren't. They were very difficult. And also, you know, these stunts are planned, scheduled, designed even before we fly to shoot. So it's not an easy feat, you know, to just create this stunt. Okay, we know she's gonna do this stunt tomorrow, so let's make this for her. It's not that easy. It takes a massive amount of planning and a huge stunt crew and you know, stunt design team to put these things together. So it's not as easy as chalo, let's make this stunt for her tomorrow. You know, it's a massive production, and there's a lot that goes behind it. So you know, they're very fair, and it's as real as it gets.
But how does it feel when you get to know this ki I'm the only competitor, female competitor between these 4 men's? How does that feel? You're the finalist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only female finalist.
It's a great feeling. You know, when I signed the contract, my first goal in my mind was actually, I want to make it to the top 5, you know, and then being able to represent that girl power amongst 4 other solid men is such a proud moment for me, and it's such a proud feeling for me, you know, and it really helps me understand my capabilities that much more.
Yeah, and kahin na kahin I feel this whole fitness journey has surely helped you to, you know, complete this people around you. Is
yeah,
that like
I
that?
mean, you know, a lot of people talk about, oh, okay, maybe I wasn't the strongest in the creepy crawlies stunts or the shock stunts and things like that. But when it comes to dynamic, it comes to water, it comes to, you know, any other element thrown at me, I definitely believe my physicality set me apart, and I was able to do the things I was able to do because of it, you know. Whereas, you know, the insects and things like that, that's more about conquering your mind and kind of getting over your specific fear to then have the body follow and do things. But yeah, absolutely, you know, it is a mind game, but physicality definitely sets you apart.
Absolutely. But before going from here to the shoot, Romania में जब हो रहा था ये, तो did you had any kind of preparation or mentally, physically, कुछ did you have done this?
I think, you know, what you need more than even, when you're talking about physical specifically, what you need more than even strength is endurance for this show. And I don't do a lot of endurance training. That's more cardio based, you know, and I love weight training. So it's very different styles of training. So before the show, I didn't change up too much in my routine, but I would add, you know, running in the evening and things like that to just work on my cardiovascular. And that definitely came into play because those stunts are exhausting.
But if you would like to share with us some behind the moments, मस्ती मजाक जो हुआ वहाँ पे, कोई ऐसा
Full day, honestly. while we were on set, you know, waiting and things like that, I think the girls really formed a great group, you know, and it's so nice and so healthy in a world where I think women are so quick to pull each other down. We really got together and we were that safe space and that support for each other. I remember we had like little vanities, like half vanities, and good for two people maybe. But the four of us, Niyati, Nimrit, Shimona, and myself, we actually sat in one little space together eating lunch every day. You know, because we were both, I mean, we were, the four of us, we were all feeling the same things and going through the same emotions, you know. So there was a sense of comfort to be able to just vent and then also just support each other through that.
But knowing the fact that you're scared of some of the crocodile, insects and all, did your dad was scared? You know, Jackie sir was scared, or Tiger was scared कि भाई कैसे करेगी तू?
I think they freaked out when they saw it on TV because it looked scary, you know.
Yes, yes.
There's obviously a little, you know, there's a sense of hesitancy or fear or whatever before doing things like that. But the whole point is, you know, all of this is done in such a controlled, safe environment. The crew, the team, they would never do anything to jeopardize your life or put you in danger. You know, it's just, it's very well managed. And I don't think anything crazy could ever happen to you. It's just about you getting over your fear.
Absolutely. But what inspired you to take the path of this fitness journey? Since I'm talking about the start, what inspired you to take this path?
You know, at the time in my life, I was like, I feel a little lost, and I feel like I don't have an identity of my own, you know. I feel like I need to do something for myself, something transformational. And I was not very much into health and fitness. I was a little bit of an overweight child, a teenager. So, you know, I was like, why not? I've always been an athlete, you know, doing sports and being part of the sports teams in school. Why not try the gym and see what it does for me? So I remember I stepped foot in a gym for the first time in 2016 or 17. And I just fell in love with it instantly, you know. I feel like the gym is therapeutic. Anything negative, anything good, whatever is happening in my life, I'm not thinking about it for that hour and a half or however long I'm in the gym, you know. And whether you know, like it or not, training releases those happy hormones in your brain naturally. So it's just a feel-good thing. And seeing how much I was able to push myself physically and progress every week, you know, week by week, automatically helped my mental as well, you know. So it really gave me a sense of confidence and security that I didn't necessarily have before, you know. And it sets the tone for my day, and I'm ready for, you know, whatever the day brings after a great, great morning session.
Well, that's a good thought. I mean, everyone should adapt this in today's generation.
Yeah, because I mean, health is truly wealth, you know. As unoriginal as that quote is, it's a fact. Nothing matters without it. What you work so hard for, you know, the money, the fame, whatever it is, none of that matters without your health.
Right, absolutely. But because you have started with the identity, I want to know from you, was there, because the whole family is into Bollywood, okay? Was there any pressure into you that I even need to make it into a Bollywood?
Initially there was, but I think that was very early on in my life. You know, when you're a teenager, you're very easily influenced by other opinions and what people have to say and things like that. So a lot of people, you know, saying that, okay, this is what she should be or do, did put that certain pressure on me. But I've been pretty strong-headed from a very early age, you know, knowing exactly what I want to do. And what I'd be good at, you know. It's not like everyone who comes from a film family can act. And I know for a fact that it takes a lot, you know, and it's definitely not one of my strengths. For me, playing a character or being a part of the fiction world is very foreign and very awkward for me, you know. So I'm a lot more comfortable in this space, talking to you as me, being who I am, you know, in the reality space, allowing, you know, every aspect of my personality to show and come out and connect to people. I like being in that space, and I think after Khatron, it's just solidified that for me.
Yes, I mean, after Khatron, have you seen any changes in yourself?
Yeah, I'm just so comfortable now, you know. earlier on, I would be, you know, a little conscious of the camera and, oh, am I looking okay? Like, is my tummy sucked in and things like that. Now I just don't care. Because, you know, being on a reality show and especially being on Khatron, doing those things, you know, being in some of those disgusting situations with the insect poop on you and whatever, the slime and things like that. I mean, people have seen it all now, you know, they've seen all angles and you can't look worse than that. So I'm just a lot more comfortable and confident in front of the camera now.
Oh, that's a good change. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone should have that. But I also want to know from you कि was this journey sometime you felt like कि यार अब नहीं होगा मुझसे छोड़ देते हैं निकल जाते हैं
Khatro?
खतरों पे
Actually, so when I got eliminated, I remember one of the producers came to me the next day, and it was about coming back on set as a wild card. And I literally told him, I was like, sir, please give my position to someone else because I genuinely don't think I can do this. It's very difficult, you know. How much ever you see on screen, it's triple that. So he was just like, we'll talk about it later. Go, go, go. And immediately just put me back in. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I was just thrown back into it. But then I was just like, you know what? I need to do something positive with this opportunity because it's a big opportunity. And I was blessed to have that second chance. And now I look back and I'm so grateful to them for giving me that because I was able to prove people wrong and show my strengths, you know, because that is who I am as a person. And I think it was just a little bit of an uncomfortable scenario for me because I threw myself into this completely new world, you know, adapting to the camera, to conversations, to different kinds of people, the stunts on top of everything. It was very overwhelming, you know. So I think once I found my flow of it and once I let go of those limitations I had put on myself, I came and I conquered.
right absolutely and ruling like how but I also want to know from you does social media trolling affect you
Genuinely, no. It really doesn't, you know. I always have this conversation with my boyfriend actually, and it's just like people will only talk about you if you're doing something in life, you know, if you're either somebody or you're doing something. I mean, no one's gonna bother if you're nobody, you know? So at the end of the day, good publicity, bad publicity, it's all publicity, you know? People are talking about you, your name's spreading, you have visibility, I'm okay with it. And, you know, when we put ourselves out there, I think it's just part and parcel. You're putting yourself out there for people to love, for people to hate, criticize, whatever it is, you know? But a person's opinion of me or what they think the situation is doesn't make it the reality. You know, as long as I'm solid about myself up here, all of that is just outside noise.
Yeah, agree. But do you see the social media's videos of Jackie sir's going viral when he cooks something good?
Of course.
Or when he says recipes and all.
Yes.
Have you tried any of them?
Guess who got him on the digital game?
You, of
You're
course.
welcome. You're welcome, everybody.
Just the Krishna.
Yes, I told him he needs to get on the digital game ASAP because that's, I mean, it's blowing up for everyone, you know?
I know, I remember I have posted some of the videos and I remember you commenting in it niche mein, and you were like, dad is always the best, dad is always ruling. And I remember you only forced him to come on social media.
Yeah.
But did you have tried anything, any dishes of him, jo wo banate hain,
Of
ya
course,
recipe?
the
Which one is your
OG anda
favorite?
kari pata, that the original is my absolute favorite. I'm a breakfast kind of girl. Like that's my favorite meal of the day. So that will forever be my favorite.
But what's your take, Krishna, on social media opinions? People were talking about Asim Riaz. But what do you see and how do you have reacted on it?
I don't want to react on it because I feel like so many people that have reacted on it are reacting on it for their own publicity. You know, they're jumping on the bandwagon and using that to, you know, have their own thing. But it's done and dusted, man. I feel like everyone's spoken about it. Everyone's reacted on it. I mean, it's just not worth talking about anymore. Whatever happened, happened. You know, emotions at the time when you're in that bubble are very heightened. And you never know how something you say may affect somebody, you know? And he may have reacted a certain way, whereas maybe I wouldn't have reacted like that. But everyone is unique and different, and, you know, they have the right to that. That reaction or that feeling or that emotion. But I mean, For me, I've always had a great experience with him, you know. We had a good friendship, and that stays true till today.